Hi, welcome to Physics Teacher. In this video, I'm going to go over the solution to a grade 9 math contest problem. It's question 23 from the Pascal contest in 2020. Give it a try, and I'll be right back with the answer. Alright, so we have 4 players, let's just call them A, B, C, and D. And they're competing in a tournament, and each player plays the other players once. Now, they're either going to win, lose, or tie. You get 5 points for a win, 0 points for a loss, and 2 points for a tie. And we need to figure out which of these are possible outcomes. So let's make a chart and figure out what points are actually possible. So in our chart, we're going to have wins, losses, ties, and what our total points will be. So first we could have 3 wins. If we have 3 wins, we have a total of 15 points. If we have 2 wins and 1 tie, that gives us 5, 10, and 12 points. We could have 2 wins and a loss, which would give us only 10 points. Could have 1 wins and 2 ties, which would be 9 points. You can have 1, 1, and 1, which would be 7 points. And we can have 1, 2, and 0, which would be 5 points. You can have 0, 0, and 3, which is 6 points. I'm going to go down a bit over the answers because I've run out of space. But we can have 0, 1, and 2, which is 4 points. 0, 2, and 1, which is 2 points. And we could have all losses, which would be 0 points. So these are all the possible points that we could have. So let's look at this 4th table then. In this 4th table, can see that Ali has 12 points. It means one of them must have been a tie, because if you look at 12 points, so one must be a tie. But looking at 10, 5, and 0, over here 10, there's no ties. 5, there's no ties. And 0, there's no ties. So who did Ali tie with? No one. This is not possible. Same with this 3rd game here. It says Deb has 2 points. That means Deb had 2 losses and 1 tie. But again, looking at 15 and 5, those points do not offer any ties. So who did Deb tie with? Again, nobody. Now for this one, again, Ali and Bia have 10 points. That means 0 ties. Now C and D, Chi and Deb, have 4 points, meaning they have 2 ties. Well, they could each have 1 tie with each other, but they can't have 2 ties with each other because each player only plays another player exactly once. So who are those other ties with? No one. Alright, so we're left with this 1st game. Now looking at it, it looks certainly possible. So let's create another chart to see how this would work. Alright, so let's start with Ali. Ali has 15 points. That means Ali won all of their matches. So if you had Ali versus Bia, Ali got 5 points and Bia got 0 points. We have A versus C. Again, 5 and 0. And A versus D. Again, 5 and 0. Alright, well what about Bia? Bia got 7 points. 7 points means 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 tie. Well, we already know who Bia lost against. So Bia could have tied either Deb or Chi. Now, considering Chi has 2 ties and Deb has 1, I'm going to go with the fact that Bia tied against Chi. So when we have B versus C, it's going to be a tie they're each going to get 2 points. So that would mean that Bia still needs 5 points for a win, and the only other person Bia hasn't played yet is Deb. So B versus D. Bia is going to win, so let's give Bia 5 points. We'll give Deb 0 points. All right, lastly, we have Chi and Deb tying with each other. So C versus D, they each get 2 points. So these are all of our matches. And we have 15, 7, 4, and 2. So this one is possible. So one of these is possible. Our answer is B.